Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're getting ready for your O-level Pakistan Studies exam, you'll know just how important it is to get your head around the country's industrial sector. Today, we're going to break down the industrial geography of Pakistan, and we're going to think of it as the real engine of the nation's economy. So let's get this engine started and see exactly what makes it tick. All right, let's start with a really big number. 14,374 billion rupees. I mean, that's a mouthful, right? So what does that even mean? Well, that was the total value of all the companies listed on Pakistan's stock market in early 2024. And guess what? A huge chunk of that value comes directly from the powerful industries we're about to dive into. This isn't just a number on a screen. It's proof of just how vital this sector really is. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll check out Pakistan's industrial powerhouses. Then, we'll put on our geographer hats and figure out why factories get built where they do. After that, we'll see how the government helps steer all this growth, check out the real-world impact on the country, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with a neat summary to help you crush that exam. All right, let's pop the hood on Pakistan's economy. Section 1 is all about those powerhouse cylinders firing up the engine. We're talking about the major industries that are the backbone of manufacturing, the ones creating jobs and bringing in crucial money from all around the world. So who are the biggest players in the game? This chart gives us a clue by looking at their financial value, or market cap. And as you can see, foundational industries like cement and fertilizer are absolutely huge, making up 8.3% and 7.2% of the whole market. I mean, they are quite literally building and feeding the nation. But if there's one industry that's the true backbone of Pakistani manufacturing, it's got to be textiles. It's more than just one thing, it's a whole ecosystem. Just think about the journey. It all starts with a cotton plant in a field. That cotton gets processed, spun into thread, woven into cloth, and then finally stitched into the clothes we see in shops all over the planet. And almost every single step happens right here. And that whole journey leads us to this number right here, which shows the massive social impact, a staggering 40%. That's how much of the entire industrial workforce is employed by the textile industry. This isn't just an economic powerhouse, it's the country's single biggest manufacturing employer, plain and simple, supporting millions of families. Now, here's a really important thing to remember. Not all industries are on the same path. Let's compare two. On one side, you've got the auto industry, which is just booming. We're talking a massive 40% growth rebound, driven by cool new models, even electric vehicles, and creating thousands of new jobs. But on the flip side, you have the sugar industry, which has hit some bumps in the road. It's been challenged by things like price changes, new taxes, and even bad weather hitting the crops. This contrast really shows you how dynamic and, well, complicated the industrial sector can be. Okay, so we've seen what the major industries are, but now for the really interesting part. Why are they located where they are? Section 2 is all about digging into the industrial blueprint, the essential ingredients that decide where a factory is built and whether it's actually going to succeed. Yeah, I mean, why would you build a cement factory here and a textile mill hundreds of kilometers away over there? Is it just random? Nope, not at all. It's actually a very careful calculation, a strategic decision that involves getting several key ingredients just right. And this is basically the checklist for success. To thrive, an industry has got to be near its raw materials, it needs awesome transport links to get its products out, it needs skilled people to do the work, a steady supply of power and water, government policies that are helpful, not hurtful, and finally, it has to be able to reach its customers. You tick all those boxes, and you've got a winner. And this map really brings that whole idea to life. Just look where the big industrial hubs are. Karachi, Faisalabad, Lahore. See how they're not just scattered everywhere? They're clustered right along those vital transport arteries, like the major highways and, of course, the massive China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. Connectivity, you guys, is the absolute lifeline of industry. And that connectivity doesn't stop at the land's edge. For an economy that needs to sell its stuff to the rest of the world, ports are the gateways. I mean, look at these numbers. Karachi port is handling nearly 52 million tons of cargo a year. That's just massive. Port Qasim is a powerhouse too. And you gotta keep an eye on Gwadar. It's quickly becoming a super important strategic port, especially with all the trade related to CPEC. All right, so factories don't just pop up out of nowhere, right? They need the right environment, the right conditions to really thrive. And that's where the government comes in. In this next section, we're going to look at the government's role as the operator, the one who helps steer industrial growth with smart policies and direct support. The government has this whole toolkit it uses to encourage growth. We're talking about big, long-term national policies, like the one for the auto industry. It also means having specific agencies like SMETA, which helps smaller businesses get started and grow. Then there are the really powerful incentives, like giving companies a break on taxes for years in special economic zones, and, of course, carefully regulating important sectors like mining. Okay, so we've seen the industries, we know why they're located where they are, and we've seen how the government helps out. But so what? What's the end result of all this? This section is all about the output, the real-world impact of how this industrial engine actually changes Pakistan's economy and its society. Let's see why it all matters so much. This number right here, it tells a massive story. 55.2%. Just let that sink in for a second. Over half, more than half of all the money Pakistan earns from selling goods abroad comes from just this one sector, textiles. That's how incredibly critical it is for the nation's financial health. And it's not just about money and exports. Industry is literally a job-creating, city-building machine. Think about places like Karachi, Lahore, and Faisalabad. They act like these giant economic magnets, drawing people in from all over the country who are looking for work and a better life. And as more people come, the cities just get bigger and bigger, creating this powerful cycle of growth. Phew, okay, that was a lot. But we're going to bring it all home now. Let's switch gears and do a super quick, focused summary. This is the stuff you absolutely positively need to have locked in for your exams. All right, 4 key things to lock in. Number 1, the powerhouses. Remember, textiles equals jobs, autos equals growth. Got it? Number 2, location. It's all about those lifelines, the roads and ports that connect everything. Number 3, the government's role. They aren't just watching from the sidelines, they are actively shaping the industry. And finally, number 4, the national impact. It all boils down to exports, jobs, and the growth of our biggest cities. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. As Pakistan looks ahead, what's going to be its next big growth engine? Will it be the traditional, established power of textiles that continues to lead the way? Or is the future all about new tech, like the world of electric vehicles? It's a really interesting question for the country's economic future. I really hope this explainer helped clear things up for you on Pakistan's industrial geography. If you found it useful, do me a favor and hit that like button. And definitely subscribe to Spotwork Learning. We've got a lot more content coming to help you crush your exams. Thanks so much for watching.